Well, I'm obviously excited to still play the game, Freddie. So they're a good football team. The concern is Notre Dame. I mean, we played them a couple of years ago in Ireland, and they got after us. They got after us pretty good in South Bend last year. So, as a football coach, you're excited the game's playing, but we better be ready to play because we have a hard time wherever we play these guys. They're that good. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited that we're having the game.
I mean, we're talking 90-plus years. You guys have been swapping paint, and they've never been to Annapolis. Now, we all love I know you love going to Dublin, but this is historic, Coach. Notre Dame is coming to your place. Has that sunk in?
Yeah, when I first heard about it, it was kind of surreal. But then I was thinking our stadium isn't the biggest stadium in the world, but we packed the stadium. It's a pretty good home field advantage. But then I was thinking, wait a minute, how is it going to be? Is it going to be completely empty or will there be fans? And I know Chet and Jack Swarbuck, Chet Gladchuck and Jack Swarbuck are working on those things. But it's going to be exciting to play at home. How many fans will be there, I don't know. But, our whole sole focus is just make sure they're ready to play between the white lines.
What does your gut tell you about playing this game where there may not be fans that you're used to seeing in the stands on your home field?
Yeah, just, I think people are doing all that they can. Everybody's doing all the research. If you have fans, the things they're going to have to do, the social distancing, the parking lot, how they come in, and all those kinds of things. I know that our athletic director and all the Naval Academy officials have been talking about all of that stuff just to make sure if we do have fans, that it's safe. And I've been out of those conversations, from the standpoint of I'm still trying to figure out, how many days we're going to be able to practice and what type of practices are going to be. And if they do practice, how many guys can practice to be on the field at the same time in meetings. There's so many logistical things to keep our guys safe that we're trying to touch base with all of them, but there's a plethora of things that we're trying to get ready for.
Coach, just take us into your world right now, being a head coach, especially at a place like Navy. What is your world like on a day-in, day-out basis?
Well, the thing is interesting, with the COVID-19 and pandemic stuff right now, I'm actually still in Hawaii. I came here for spring break at the beginning of March, and, we stayed here ever since with some of the flying things and some of the concerns about that. But a lot of meetings online. We have a lot of Google Meets with our staff. So that stuff has continued. We've continued on with our position meetings. Recruiting has gone on as normal because, recruiting is online anyways. The one thing we're not able to do is on-campus visits. So a lot of the stuff you're doing now, you're doing Zoom calls with prospects and their parents, which is unique. So you're trying to show them as much as you can on your campus from, virtual stuff. And some of that, and, obviously with some of the recent events too, there's just a lot of stuff going on that you're dealing with your football program and with your players.
Wow, great stuff by Ken Niumatalolo, the head coach of Navy, joining us on Freddie and Fitzsimmons on ESPN Radio and Sirius XM Channel 80. When you first heard of Zoom and you had to realize that was going to be a part of what was going to go on, what did you think? Because when I mentioned Zoom to my mom and dad, they thought it was a 70s show on public television. I had to walk out of the room. So what about you? When you had to deal with Zoom and you heard about it, Coach Niumatalolo, what went through your mind?
The same thing, like, what the heck is that? And you first start doing it, and it seems like now everybody's got Zoom etiquette. You mute your screen. Eventually when we first started, everybody had their mics on, and you couldn't hear anything. Everybody was talking, and I think we've gotten better at it. But it's amazing. I mean, all forms of life, all jobs. It seems like a lot of people are using it. I wonder too if it's going to help us. I think what if it's going to help us in the future just to be more efficient in our meetings, and I don't know, maybe there's some good things that come from this that we'll learn how to do things a little bit more effectively and more efficiently.
Coach, I just wish I would have bought stock in Zoom.
Yeah.
I may not be talking to you right now.
You're exactly right. it went and nobody knew about it, and it's our world now. You know what I mean? And it's crazy.
It's insane, man. On a much different note, you mentioned your players, and at a place like the Naval Academy, you are there's leaders. I mean, every guy there is ready to put his or her life on the line for this country. When you look at the last 8-9 days, and especially the last 72 hours, what have you been able to tell your players in those Zoom meetings about, just life in this world we're living in right now?
It's amazing. Just so we had a team meeting yesterday, and it was, I don't know. I've been doing this a long time. Probably one of the best team meetings that I've ever been involved with, and I was grateful for Zoom. Actually, we used Google Meets for that meeting, but to be able to meet online, the majority of my team are black kids. We have white kids. We have some other ethnicities on our team, some Polynesian kids, some Latinos. But just to allow, because as I thought about it, I felt it was important to us to have a forum where our players could speak. And so just to listen to them talk, and I was thinking about it as they were talking, it was just an open forum. And I started off with just explaining a little bit of my background, but I wanted to hear their opinion and just, we're a family. I definitely don't condone anything that happens. That what happened was horrific, but I'm not a big social media guy, so I haven't been on it that much. But obviously, you don't need to know what's going on in the world. But I knew that it was important for our players to have a forum where they could speak. And the only thing I can say coming out of that meeting was, wow. It was just so impressive to hear. So some of our black kids got up and talked when I got on and talked about some of the things that they've had to deal with and the way they've been raised and things that they've had to deal with, the real life situations that they've encountered. And you can just see then some of our white kids would get on and just, they're like, wow, things that you have to deal with. And they're like, how can I help? What can I do to be a better teammate? What can I do for myself to help, make things better for you, for our world? And I just listened to these guys that are going to be leaders of our country. It was I just sat there, like I said, and just was blown away listening to our guys. But, I had a couple players text me after the game and thanking me for the forum. But I was just telling them, man, I had nothing. Don't thank me. This is a real life. This isn't me as a coach. I'm just a person, just like you. I'm not any better. I'm older than you guys, and unfortunately, I've seen some of this stuff over the years, and things haven't gotten better. And just some dialogue for us to start to hopefully we can make some things better on our team, and our team, like I said, where we can help each other. But they also started to say some things, Fred, it was really interesting to me. It's like, hey, can we, when we go out and lead, and if we're in charge and we're in charge of people, maybe I can help train other guys or teach other people. There'll be guys from different backgrounds that I'll be in charge of, that I can, make sure that people are educated. I can inform people. But it was just interesting to hear everybody's opinion. And I was impressed by, like I said, kids that weren't black, and say, how can I help you? I had one kid say, Coach, I called up a couple of my brothers on the team to ask them, hey, I'm a white guy. I don't know. What can I do? Tell me a little bit about, what you've experienced. And it was like an hour meeting. I just, like I said, the coaches, a couple of coaches spoke too. We had a couple of our coaches got on, but really it's mostly players for an hour, and it was one of the best meetings I've ever been to in my 31 years of coaching.
I'd have given anything to have been a part of that meeting. And I'm about to be 55 years of age later on this year, Coach, because I guarantee you I'd have learned so much, even of stuff that I've already known. I'd have given anything to have been a part of that. What was that like for you?
Like I said, I was, it's just, we had one player just talked about when things came out with the Trayvon Martin deal, and it was just interesting just to hear his perspective. He said, Coach, here's some things that, my parents had to teach me, just like, hey,
did we lose Coach?
No, I'm here.
There he is.
You
Okay.
need a minute, Coach? You okay?
You need a minute?
Yeah. Just one of my players just said, Coach, my parents, after this deal happened, my mom was telling me, hey, when you go in the store, don't put on the hood. Keep your hands out of your pockets. I was just blown away to hear that. I mean, those are things as a dad I've never even thought about. You know, I'm a minority, but I've never had to tell my kids when you go in the store, don't wear a hood, keep your hands away from your pockets. And, you know, I never had to tell them those things and raise them. It was a beautiful meeting. And I think it was eye-opening. Like you said, I'm 55 years old, and I never even thought of something like that. To hear of a kid say that, Coach, here are things that my parents told me that I had to do to keep me safe. And it was just like, wow. It's just.
That's why they're the future leaders of this country, Coach.
Yeah.
You've got great men there.
No doubt. Coach, we always appreciate you, my man. We really appreciate the time, especially in these times. Always good to hear your voice and also knowing exactly kind of leaders that you are a part of with the Naval Academy as not only the football coach, but also their mentor. Thanks for joining us here on Freddie and Fitzsimmons and ESPN Radio, my friend.
All right, Freddie, and thanks for having me. You guys take care.